So I was feeling very tired yesterday, but I went to, again, the second time to this person who said he could try and help me fill out a form to get benefits. So basically, I went to him 2 weeks ago. He basically listed the benefits and said that I can't get universal credit because I own a house and I have too much money in my account because you're not allowed to have more than 16,000, and I do, but it's in a safe to buy. But anyway, um, and then he said that I can't get anything else because I've got too much and I don't have kids, and just basically all the things that you can get benefits from, housings from, I disqualify because I either own a second house or you know and yeah, but I went to the doctor to get a sick note to see if I can put that forward, and he said that I can do that, so I can get a sick note and then try and apply for it, but I still didn't know how to apply for what. So I went back to this place and he basically spent an hour talking to me, but it's just so strange because last time I went there I told him all about my religion and why I can't work because of my religion, and you know all the proof that I'm God. And it's just like this time when I went, it's almost like he had no memory of anything that I said. It felt like he had no clue who I was. It felt like everything that I told him had just been blanked out of his head. And if he did remember something, well, he didn't give me any indication that he did actually remember what I said. And in a way, it almost felt glad that I was sort of suffering. It kind of felt like that, like I was, the idea that I'm just not doing anything and having a horrible shit life. To me, I just felt like, in a way, that in his mind might have confirmed that I'm not who I think I was, but I don't even know if he knew. It was weird. We didn't talk about it, but I got an indication that he made no attempt to look up who I was, no attempt to find out my videos or to see, I don't know, just completely nothing, just absolutely nothing from him. And after 1 hour, because then I was thinking maybe I should go to a food bank or something because they can offer free food, and I was trying to ask him if he can sign me up, and he spent 20 minutes just flicking on his computer, and I don't know what he was doing. He said he was trying to find the form to sign me up but couldn't find, and I kind of just settled, I'm just going to go myself and just ask them if I can get them to sign me up or something, because he was taking too long and I was feeling really dizzy at the time. But just before I walked out, he said, why don't you try for PIP? That might be the only thing. And it just didn't make any sense. Why didn't he tell me? If he wanted to help me, why wouldn't he tell me to go and sign up to PIP at the beginning? It felt very incompetent. He was supposed to help people sign on to benefits and stuff, and yet he didn't seem to know how to do that. And so, but anyway, I called up a PIP place, and I might be able to sign up for PIP. They're going to send me forms, but I don't know. I'm only signing up for PIP because I don't see any evidence that anything's going to happen this year. But I'm constantly hoping that something's going to happen soon. But I've been waiting 12 years now, and I'm, I've had a shit life, such a shit life. I don't go to restaurants, I don't go out, I don't do anything. I just literally lie in bed all day, every day, wishing that I was dead because I hate this planet. And if you think that I'm just going to, if the people who know about me and who are watching my videos and just watching me fall apart bit by bit and just more and more into depression and still not helping me, you coming and talking to me and saying, yes, we believe you, this is not going to change anything, because I'm just going to look at you as a bunch of people who refused to help me for 12 years. So, we are going to come into problems because I'm not going to want to do anything for anyone, and at the same time I still want to hurt people. That's what I want, and I want to get loads of interviews where people are denying me and saying that I'm not Christ, saying that I can't be Christ for whatever reason. And I want this so that when in the future, when I am exposed as being Christ, I can show them these videos that they did before they knew who I was, and I can make them feel like shit. That is the only point of these interviews. And because making people feel like shit for making me feel like shit, that's the only thing that I now want to do. I do want to work with someone, so I feel like I want to work with to do something. I want the world to know about me, but I first want just to test, to find the people who are going to be hurt by the thought that they've been worshipping the false god the whole time, and I want interviews with them, and when they finally do believe me, I want to show them the interviews, and it will be to hurt them, and that's kind of the only thing that I want to do now. This world has hurt me, and it doesn't care about me, and it's not cared about me. It's never cared about me. It pushed me away 20,000 years ago. Okay, they were all basically animals back then, but the whole Bible is full of stories where a woman is the better character, and yet none of you seem to have noticed that, and it's just, I don't know, but I'm really, really, really angry, and I want to plan something, and I feel like I would trust Josh Whedon, because I like his work. I like the Buffy show, but I don't know what else I want to do now, because all the things that I was planning on doing, you've left it too long. You've been ignoring me for too long, and I just feel like a prisoner in this world, and I just want to die and get out of this world so I can stop being a prisoner of this world. And I want other people to feel the same way that I'm feeling, because I feel like only then can they understand how bad I feel. And I'm trying to work out when this date is. I know that Google says that Jesus died Friday, April 3rd, which is my birthday, in 33 AD. If things are played out, 33 AD is actually 2033 AD, because the turn of the century, 2,000 years ago, that Jesus was not Christ. And I feel like AD is after deception, so Jesus was like a deception, and I feel like the sign that Jesus died in April 3rd, 33, year 33, I think the year 2000 is actually the year 0, because this is when I was 12. This is when the Spirit started working in me, when I was around 12, and so yeah, the year 33 is actually the year 2033. Anything before that is BC, before Christ. Anything after that is AC. But yeah, I think there was a deception, which is that this AD should actually be AC, after Christ, but it starts now because I was not here 2,000 years ago. And so yeah, if we're working in that time scale, and if Jesus dies in 33, it means that the tribulation, the 7-year tribulation of Jesus, starts in 2026, which is next spring, and then there's a 7-year period, and it ends. So that's what I think is going to happen. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that anything's going to happen this year. I mean, it could happen this year, because I'm going to need a lot of time to recover. But yeah, and I want Jesus, AJ Miller, to be risen up straight away, basically. But to be honest, Jesus isn't Christ. He's a false Christ, and therefore maybe he rises up. The next date that I'm putting on as a possibility for when the rapture is going to happen would be September the 22nd to 23rd. September the 23rd, I think, is going to be the day. That's the next day that I've got on my eye, basically, and I believe there's a 40-day. You're going to first of all put some sort of announcement that the rapture of the bride is going to happen. 40 days before that, and 40 days before that happens to be the Assumption of Mary, which is on August the 15th. So if you, on August the 15th, start making out loads of announcements that you've got a 40-day wait until the rapture of the bride happens, 40 days later, I am going to be taken and Jesus is going to rise. Well, he could either rise on the Feast of Trumpets, which is on the 22nd, 23rd, or he can rise 10 days later on the Day of Atonement. And since Jesus is predicted and believed to come back on the Day of Atonement, maybe that is what happens. Maybe AJ Miller rises, or when I say rises, I mean when there's going to be 1,400 people who put a post on Instagram or Facebook saying that they believe that AJ Miller is the Jesus character, but then they're not going to do anything more. They don't have to talk to him, they don't have to speak to him. If there are some people who want to interview him, they can do, but I would just try and do it so that you give him as little money as possible, but give him the belief that that it's all going to amount to something much bigger on his part. And yeah, so either that's the possibility of what's going to happen, and then there's going to be a 6-month period, until I start, and maybe April 3rd. This April 3rd is, it's supposed to be the day that Jesus dies, and well, maybe on April the 3rd in 2026, maybe that should be when I expose myself. Like, I was thinking it should be on June the 13th, but if you are going to come and help me, then maybe it can be earlier. I don't know. I need at least 6 months to gain a certain amount of trust, and to work out who is on my side and why people have ignored me. But yeah, I'm going to need a lot of, I don't even know what I need, but I need to I need a better life than what I've got, and I know as soon as I become famous, I'm not going to have a better life, because people aren't going to believe, and it's going to be unsafe for me, and stuff like that. So I want to do things, travel the world, get out and do stuff, get the interviews where people are insulting me and denying me and saying that I can't be God for whatever reason. I want to get lots and lots of that, and I would like Josh Whedon to organise that, and I will do or go whatever he thinks is best. And if he wants to do nothing, then I'm actually okay with that too, because I don't know if I'm really mentally well enough to do much. I'm hugely depressed and tired, and I just hate everyone so much that I don't want to be saving anyone, and yeah. So I'm just thinking that's. I can't see anything happening in June or July, but I think the Feast of Trumpets is supposed to be when the Christians most believe that the rapture is going to happen, and Jesus is supposed to come back on the Day of Atonement, so maybe that should be when AJ Miller rises, and then maybe April the 3rd should be when I get exposed, or maybe I should wait until June the 13th like I was originally planning, but I don't know. But my birthday being on April the 3rd feels significant for me, but yeah, I suppose I need to see if I can get all the interviews that I want. I want to get as many interviews as possible, and I don't know if I'll get as many as I need by April 3rd, or if it should be, but we'll take it as we go. So I don't know, but I just needed to say all that, and but yeah, if you are coming to me in October, then I don't need to worry about funding, because the main reason why I'm worried about funding is because I really can't be in England during January and February, because it's just way too cold here and it's way too depressing. So but yeah, I'm just bored. I'm bored all day every day, and I feel like I'm living in a computer where I'm just trapped like a fish in a fish tank.